Hi, this is David Jackson and I'm the eXfuze Country Manager for Malaysia and Singapore. For the next few minutes I'd like to go through the getting started process. We have created a getting started sheet for new Chairman's Club members. I hope you've got that with you. This few minutes is just an overview of what you would do when you get a new Chairman's Club member started. It's just an overview. You'd need to attend a training session covering this specific area, or you need to spend some time individually with your coach so that you fully understand the power and the importance of getting a new Chairman's Club member started correctly. So we begin with sitting down with your new Chairman's Club member as soon as they've enrolled. At the same time, if you have the time, as soon as they've signed the form, we would recommend that you get out the getting started sheet, assuming you've got the time to do that. If time doesn't permit, then you need to make another appointment to meet up within 24 hours to spend the time to go through this getting started sheet. The first item on the agenda is set goals. And you might need to help your new member set a goal, but we would recommend that Club 500 be the first goal that any new Chairman's Club member sets. And that depends on how aggressive and how active your new member wants to be. But if they want to get started immediately and devote a reasonable amount of time, then being Club 500 in the first week or two is very achievable. So you need to help your new member set the date that is reasonable for them to achieve, and then get them to write that date on this sheet. That you then need to just reinforce with them that we have at eXfuze a proven success system. You don't need to spend half an hour explaining the proven success system, but I believe it's just comforting for a new business partner to realise that we do have a system, that the system is in place. All they have to do is learn the system and apply the system, and then they will be successful. So depending on how much time you've got, you either just mention that we have a system, or you might briefly explain some of the elements of the proven success system. Next on the getting started sheet is 100% product use. This is where you help your new Chairman's Club member realise that they need to regularly order and consume the products. That's at the heart of our business. That's why it's in the bullseye of the proven success system. So help them set up their monthly auto-ship at this time. The next element is the name list. This is really, really critical, because the purpose of this name list is so that your new member can now invite some people to the first 2 launch events that they are going to hold. We would recommend that every new Chairman's Club member schedule 2 launch events within the first week or so of them becoming a Chairman's Club member. Now, come back to this list. Do me a favour list. Start this by just saying to your new Chairman's Club member, look, if on your way home this evening your car broke down, who would you call to help? And normally they'd say, well, I'll call my spouse, or I'll call my brother, or call my parents, or call a good friend, is really what we're talking about. So that's what this first initial list of 30 names is designed for, to put down 30 people that would do you a favour. 30 people that you know well, 30 people that trust you, 30 people that you trust, 30 close friends or relatives or work colleagues or neighbours, but 30 people who you could call upon for a favour, knowing that they're very likely to respond positively. There are some prompt questions on the getting started sheet that might be helpful in getting your new member thinking about the 30 people, but just continually remind your new member that these are people that you know well, people that you could call upon for a favour. It's really important that you get your new member to write these names down. 30 people that they could call upon for a favour. And as you might write them down as your member is thinking about it or going through their phone index. But tell them not to start at their phone index at A and just work through. This list is specifically for people who they could call upon for a favour. And this list of 30 is just a beginning. As homework over the next week or so, we would recommend they go home and write up their list of 100, 200, 300 people. But this first 30 is really important to get done right now and right there and get it written out, because we are then going to move on to the approach segment, and in order for us to do that, they have to have the 30 names written down. The next phase of this getting started process is, after they've written their 30 names down, you encourage them to send out that text message number 1. What I recommend you do is you forward it to them so that all they have to do is put their friend's name at the front of the message and just press send. Not to be sent out as a broadcast, it's to be sent out 30 times individually addressed, but it's just a cut and paste on their phone. So it's a very quick process, in fact, to send out 30 names. It can be done in 5 minutes. You can have 30 messages sent out to people. And what will happen? I guarantee what will happen. If your new member has put down 30 good quality names of people that would do them a favour, before they go to bed tonight, they will have 5, 10, 20 positive responses come back from those 30 messages that they've sent out. This is an incredibly powerful exercise. We've done this time and time again. We've done this one-on-one with new members. We've done this in group settings, at group trainings where people send out messages. Every single time we get many positive responses of friends coming back saying, sure, yes, what's it about? I'm happy to meet up. So it's a very, very powerful experience for the new member. For the new member to finish their first day having received 10 or 20 positive responses from a message like this is incredibly powerful. Once the positive responses start to come in, it's then a matter of to and fro with further messaging to fix a time, because the objective is to channel all of these positive responses into one of the 2 launch events. So you can see the next message there just channels the positive responses into one of the 2 events that have been scheduled. Those that cannot fit into one of those 2 launch events, then by texting to and fro, just fix another time to meet up with those people one-on-one. I promise you that if you go to the trouble with your new member of crafting out the 30 names where they are genuinely close friends or relatives, and you get them to send that message, they will be overwhelmed by the positive responses that they get, and they will easily be able to put multiple people into both of these meetings, as well as have several one-on-one meetings. I can guarantee you that. We've seen that time and time again. This is a very, very powerful way to get your new member started. So that really is the getting started process with your new Chairman's Club member. Again, we just recommend that as soon as the person has signed up, that you go through this sheet immediately. If time prohibits that, then you book another session within 24 hours to get your new member started correctly. Set some early simple goals, reinforce the necessity for ordering the product on a regular auto-ship basis, spend some few minutes working on their 30 do me a favour list, and then get them to send out immediately the 30 messages. Don't tell them to go home and send out the messages. Get them to do that while you're sitting there with them, and probably before you'll finish this getting started session with them, they will be getting positive responses coming into their phone, and they'll be super excited. So it's a very powerful process, a very important process, and you have an obligation that if somebody joins you in the Chairman's Club, your leadership obligation is to help them get started correctly, and that's what this form is designed for.